So this is me, Dr. Peggy, in front of you. So as I've already mentioned, I'm a medical graduate and I'm planning to discuss today and for the first few days about the endocrine system of human body. So the organ that I've chosen for discussion is pituitary gland, that is otherwise known as the master gland of the endocrine, among the endocrine glands. So the part of the brain that controls all the endocrine glands is known as hypothalamus. So let's dive into pituitary gland and know more about it. Pituitary gland is also known by another name, that is hypophysis cerebri, alright? So hypophysis cerebri has two major parts: adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis is the part of the gland that is the anterior part of the pituitary gland, and neurohypophysis is the posterior part of the pituitary gland. Okay, so let's discuss about the origin of this gland. So there are two sources of origin of pituitary gland. One is from the surface ectoderm and the other is from the neuroectoderm. So the outermost layer of the oral cavity, that is stomodium, is the part from where rat case pouch is derived. How is rat case pouch derived? The oral cavity, or the outermost layer of the oral cavity extends or elongates, and a part of the oral cavity projects upwards and separates from the cavity, from the oral cavity, and forms the pouch that is known as rat case pouch. And let me get into a topic other than what I'm discussing right now. There will be flashcards that I've prepared right below the presentation. So in the description, if anybody is interested, can just download it. Alright, okay, I hope it will be useful for you. So it has the pictorial representation of the things I'm discussing right now. So the rat case pouch. So the posterior part of the posterior wall of rat case pouch develops into pars intermediate. The anterior part develops into pars anterior, and there's a cleft. That cleft of rat case pouch separates the anterior to the posterior. And let's move on to let's talk about this. This rat case pouch is seen in human embryo at which week of intrauterine life? Yeah, you're right. So it is the third week of intrauterine life when the when the embryo is seen to be having a well-developed rat case pouch. Alright, so the second one is neurohypophysis that we have already mentioned. So the parts of neurohypophysis is also present as in the form of a flashcard right below you. So I hope you would check it all out. So let me tell you in a brief way the different parts of neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis has two major parts. So what is adenohypophysis? How many parts does adenohypophysis have? Pars anterior, pars intermediate, and pars tuberalis. So tuberalis is nothing else but the extension that surrounds the infundibulum. Alright? Infundibulum is the projection that comes from the neuroectoderm. So here ends my first video, and hope you will click on the description below and download the notes as well as flashcards if anyone is interested.